According to a report, Russia has found vast oil and gas reserves in the Antarctic, much of it in areas claimed by the United Kingdom.
Antarctica has long occupied a unique place in human imagination. It is the coldest, driest, and most isolated continent on Earth, governed not by any single nation but by an international treaty that restricts military activity and commercial exploitation. For most of the modern era, it has been viewed as a scientific preserve, valuable not for what can be taken from it, but for what can be learned from it. In recent years, however, a series of discoveries, claims, and geopolitical developments have drawn renewed global attention to what lies beneath Antarctica's ice. Some of these findings are firmly grounded in peer-reviewed science. Others remain controversial, speculative, or widely misunderstood. What unites them is that they challenge the long-standing assumption that Antarctica is static, lifeless, and politically neutral. One of the most significant developments has been the renewed focus on Antarctica's subsurface geology. In 2024, reports emerged that Russian geological surveys had identified large hydrocarbon formations beneath Antarctic sedimentary basins. These conclusions were drawn from seismic data collected during research cruises conducted by Rosgeo, Russia's state-owned geological company. According to the published interpretations, the formations could contain hundreds of billions of barrels of oil equivalent, a figure that immediately attracted international attention. It is important to understand what these findings do and do not mean. Seismic surveys do not confirm recoverable oil reserves. They identify rock structures that, under certain conditions, may contain hydrocarbons. Similar surveys are routinely conducted around the world without leading to extraction.
The Antarctic ice sheet is worrying because if it collapses...
Antarctica, however, is different. Under the Antarctic Treaty system, all mineral resource activity, including drilling and extraction, is prohibited. Scientific research is permitted. Commercial exploitation is not. Russia has stated that its surveys were conducted strictly for scientific purposes, consistent with treaty obligations. Critics, including several Western geopolitics scholars, argue that the scale and specificity of the surveys suggest long-term strategic interest rather than purely academic research. If confirmed, the presence of vast hydrocarbon systems beneath Antarctic ice raises uncomfortable questions about how long the treaty framework can withstand growing global energy pressures. Beyond geology, Antarctica has also transformed scientists' understanding of life itself. For decades, the continent was assumed to be biologically simple. Cold-adapted microbes, a few hardy invertebrates, and marine life confined largely to coastal waters. That picture has changed dramatically. In 2024, researchers studying the Ross Ice Shelf confirmed the existence of an active subglacial river system beneath hundreds of meters of ice. Within this dark, pressurized environment, they discovered dense populations of shrimp-like crustaceans and microbial communities thriving without sunlight. These organisms rely not on photosynthesis, but on chemosynthesis, drawing energy from minerals and chemical gradients released by rock-water interactions. Such ecosystems had been theorized, but never directly observed at this scale beneath Antarctic ice. Their existence has direct implications for astrobiology, particularly in the search for life on icy moons such as Europa and Enceladus, where similar conditions are thought to exist beneath frozen surfaces. Antarctica's ice itself has also become an object of intense study, not only for climate science, but for geophysical monitoring. One of the more unusual phenomena documented over the past decade is the so-called singing or whistling of glaciers. Using seismic sensors and GPS-based monitoring, scientists have detected continuous low-frequency vibrations generated as ice sheets deform, crack, and slide over bedrock. These signals are inaudible to the human ear, but can be translated into sound for analysis. Far from being a curiosity, these vibrations provide valuable real-time data about ice stability. Changes in frequency and intensity often precede ice shelf fractures or accelerated glacial flow. As climate warming increases stress on Antarctic ice systems, these signals have become an early warning tool for predicting ice loss and potential sea level rise. Satellite imagery has added another layer of complexity. High-resolution satellite observations have revealed unusually symmetrical ice formations in remote regions of East Antarctica. Some of these features initially sparked speculation online, with claims ranging from hidden structures to lost civilizations. Detailed analysis, however, has shown that most can be explained by well-understood natural processes, particularly the action of katabatic winds, powerful gravity-driven airflows that sculpt snow and ice into highly regular shapes. The reason such formations appear unnatural is precisely because Antarctica's environment is so extreme. With minimal melting, limited precipitation, and persistent wind patterns, ice can preserve shapes that would quickly erode elsewhere. Symmetry alone, researchers caution, is not evidence of artificial origin. Biology continues to surprise as well. Among the most promising Antarctic discoveries are cold-adapted fungi and bacteria capable of metabolizing hydrocarbons, including petroleum compounds. These organisms evolved to survive in environments with minimal water availability and extreme cold, slowing their metabolism to near dormancy for much of the year. Their ability to break down oil has attracted interest for bioremediation research, particularly in cleaning up spills in polar or cold marine environments. This research is closely monitored, as Antarctica's protected status severely limits experimentation. Still, it demonstrates that life not only exists in extreme conditions, but can perform complex chemical processes under them. Not all claims surrounding Antarctica withstand scrutiny. Stories of ancient cities beneath the ice, secret wartime bases, or undisclosed biological experiments have circulated for decades, often amplified by declassified documents taken out of context or by speculative interpretations of satellite data. While it is true that Nazi Germany conducted Antarctic expeditions in the late 1930s, these missions were limited in scope and focused primarily on mapping and territorial claims. No credible archaeological or archival evidence supports the existence of hidden bases or advanced installations beneath the ice. Similarly, sensational accounts of unknown large predatory organisms inhabiting subglacial lakes have never been supported by peer-reviewed research. Subglacial lakes, such as Lake Vostok, are indeed isolated ecosystems that may contain unique microbial life, but all verified findings to date point toward microscopic organisms, not complex multicellular predators. Extraordinary claims persist largely because access to these environments is extremely restricted and slow, creating a vacuum easily filled by speculation. What makes Antarctica genuinely unsettling is not the presence of monsters or secret civilizations, but the convergence of science, climate, and geopolitics. Beneath the ice lie detailed records of Earth's climate history, preserved in ice cores that extend back more than 800,000 years. These records show how rapidly planetary systems can shift, and how sensitive they are to changes in atmospheric composition. At the same time, the continent may contain immense, untapped natural resources in a world facing energy scarcity and geopolitical instability. The Antarctic Treaty was designed to keep Antarctica out of global power struggles. Whether it can continue to do so as technological capability, climate change, and resource competition intensify remains an open question. Antarctica is not terrifying because of what might be hiding there. It is unsettling because it sits at the intersection of humanity's greatest challenges. environmental limits, scientific responsibility, and geopolitical restraint. What is being discovered beneath the ice is forcing the world to confront not only what Antarctica is, but what kind of future humanity intends to build around it.